think it's a decades-long joke that American voters want bipartisanship but don't actually care how they get it, right? So if two Democrats work together, it's bipartisanship so long as something gets done. In terms of the electorate, I think for the most part, right? It's just something in name only that is wanted by most voters. As long as I think um, a stimulus check is in your bank account, whether that check was signed by Donald Trump or Joe Biden makes very little difference, I think, at the end of the day. And so, I think that I genuinely believe Joe Biden when he says he wants to work with the other side. I think he is of a certain age and of a certain political hue that believes in the magical power of working together, that somehow what's put forth, it will be more stable, will be more productive uh, legislation. And so far it seems as though his White House has taken that to heart and is having these bipartisan meetings on the Hill. I know that there are Republican senators who've already come out, like Susan Collins Susan Collins from Maine and Rob Portman and from Ohio, and who've said that they feel as though the White House is too quick to turn to a Democrat-only solution for, let's say, the coronavirus package that needs to be passed. And I don't know. I think what's going on with the Biden administration is an earnest attempt. Where it goes is wholly on the Republicans in the Senate. There's only, I mean, if bipartisanship means both players are playing, and if the White House is holding these meetings and is attempting to reach some kind of consensus, and obviously, I think Senate Republicans are coming from a very, as you pointed out, they're coming from a very different place. A $500 million package is very far away from a over $1 billion package. So there's so much ground to be made up for in compromise, that I totally understand why a Republican senator would feel as though, well, if Schumer's talking hardball and Bernie Sanders is the head of the budget committee, then we're kind of, for lack of a better term, screwed here. And so maybe we should just walk away from the table now. But I do think that the Biden administration is earnestly sitting at that table. What they're offering, I'm not sure. I don't have the insights into the inner negotiations on a COVID package, but the attempt should count for something, I think, eventually. Whether it does, I think remains on the Senate Republicans.
I would think that the Biden administration, people in the White House, probably, maybe banging their heads against the wall at this point. You got a situation where they're talking about unity and coming together and working in a bipartisan way, and then you've got the House Democrats doing another articles of impeachment walk across the Congress to deliver again. And now you've got Democrats, and obviously doing this to placate kind of really kind of left wing, need to end this once and for all type thing. And now they're spending all this time, and you look at the news coverage, I mean, other than following GameStop and AMC stock, they're talking about, another impeachment trial and how it's going to do. That just takes away from any sort of growth that we can have doing any sort of work, kind of on a bipartisan level. Yes, you've got a lot of people focusing on that because it's interesting. People are wondering why Donald Trump isn't even president anymore, and that's what people are talking about. That certainly, if I was in the Biden administration, I'd say that would quite annoy me quite a lot, that I'm going to have to deal with this as I'm trying to get anything else done. So I think that's kind of a really tough situation that the administration has to deal with. And just kind of looking at the polling here, we're looking at once again, on the economy and being able to get something, kind of done, the Biden administration in the economy, it's a little bit softer than kind of all the other things. I think people knew that going into it. Even late in the cycle, any polling that said, who do you trust to run the economy better, Donald Trump or Joe Biden, it's always been Donald Trump, it's Republicans. They have that edge. Now that it's coming to fruition, obviously, now that President Biden is president, we see that the numbers are a bit softer than handling of other issues. And that's that would be scary. So this is a place that they could drop, and they could drop quickly. They have to, there's all this demand for something to be done. I think the Republican senators have their priorities of making sure this country isn't driven into too much debt, and I think their priorities are theirs. And I certainly see a lot of this kind of groundswell coming from the Democrat side of things of we need this, but not. There's going to be no working together on this. There's actually no give and take. It's Democrats said we need all of this, or we're walking away. And it's kind of that's something that Sophia just also highlighted. And is that bipartisan? I don't really know. I don't work on the policy side of things that much. But then once again, this is all played out and will continue to be played out on social media, in the media, on TV. And as Sophia was saying, I think I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you were saying that people don't really want, on the electorate doesn't really want bipartisan. I mean, people don't want a bipartisan news feed. People really could bring down exactly, if someone in your newsfeed says something you don't like that doesn't match exactly what you think, you just move them out, you thumb them down, and then they're not included next time. People are focused on hearing what they want to hear in their everyday life, in their social media group friends, and you're going to continue to see that of how they hold elected officials accountable. So I'm very, very excited to see how these things certainly play out and how kind of polling changes and the public opinion morphs as some people don't get everything they want.